People clutching their guns out, like you gonna have PTSD for sure, cause you never know what's what.
And bro, what would you say if the op said to you guys, look, let's just call a truce?
Bet. Say yeah.
If the op say what?
Let's call a truce.
It's a bit, but get what gonna happen to me, bro. I'm beat up tonight.
We said call it quit.
Stamp it. It's a bit. It's all with.
Ain't no quit.
See,
This shit,
But
man.
I guess,
You can't quit in halftime.
but bro, how would it ever end then? I guess if no one's happy to call a truce,
This
it's
shit ain't gonna never end. This shit got too far.
But you know what it is?
This shit called one of my little family members get hit. You hear me?
When I'm
This
40,
shit, man.
I'm 22 right now. So when I'm about 38, they can have a son right now. When I'm 38, their son gonna be turned 16. And get their son killed. Yeah, this ain't gonna never stop. Never hit.
And I don't even think about it, cause get what? I done seen people die. That shit look easier than what we going through. Definitely easier than what we living in right now.
All right, Shalom. This is your brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Wakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwat who are believing this word, in all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one they ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name, Rakah is spirit, Kodash is holy, Akyam is brothers, Akwat is sisters. Shalom means peace, and Yasher Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 54. And it reads, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. All right, and this lesson is inspired by a clip that you saw from a documentary about Louisiana in particular, and you get a window into, what these jakes that are in the streets are into and how they think, and ultimately it goes back to the curses, and as I was looking at this, I realized through the spirit that ultimately the Lord's going to have to destroy 2/3 of our people. The only way the beef is going to end is with the Lord destroying it. That's the only way this beef going to end. And you can see from this interview how these guys talk about it never stopping. Their mind is fully set. Even if they got to die on this side, their mind is fully set and doing revenge killings. All right. And this goes back to the curses of no compassion for your brethren. All right, let's go here. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and 5. All right, now I'll read this one in the NLT. It says, people will oppress each other, man against man, neighbor against neighbor. Young people will insult their elders, and vulgar people will sneer at the honorable. All right, now in the KJV it says, and the people shall be oppressed, every one by another. Because at this point, Esau done set it up to a point where he don't have to go to the hood. The mindset is in the hood. He don't have to go there. He don't have to set the tone. Because 2/3 of our people, they think like Esau. Esau hates Jake. They hate Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So that hate has transferred into 2/3 of our people. These street beefs and all of this shit that Jake is into, ultimately the Lord's going to send John Wick to sweep the streets. That's the only way this beef going to end. It ain't going to end with a peaceful conversation. It ain't going to end with the Lord warning Jake through the prophets. It's going to end with the Lord sending the sword, which is Esau. These militias that train, of course, they're going to go against their own government. But make no mistake, they will not hesitate to take a pit stop to the hood. All right, a lot of Jake are going to get violently overtaken in these last days because, again, all of that shit that they doing in the hood is just a cheap imitation of what Esau is. Esau is the violent man. All right, let's go here. This is Proverbs chapter 16, and I'm going to jump down to 29. It says, a violent man enticeth his neighbor and leadeth him into the way that is not good. And our people look at Esau like he's their neighbor. So in turn, they've learned his ways. All right. And Esau forwards the violence. You know, the soundtrack that Jake ride to and slide to is funded by these record labels. They have the ability to tell Jake, look, we're not giving you a record deal if you talk about killing your own people. But they don't do that. They do the exact opposite. They give $1 million contracts to Jakes that talk about violence and that are actually out there in the streets doing it. And if you do it and rap about it, they pay you more. And as I was looking at this, I realized without the Lord, we're through. You can see it in these Jakes' eyes. Like they gone, man. If you look at these Jakes as you listen to this video, they're gone. They're gone. There's nothing else you're going to be able to do to get them out of this mindset. It's going to take the Lord ending the beef. The Lord's going to have to step in and cancel out all beef. Because this is just one state. That shit that they was doing in Chicago done been exported to all parts of the United States and even overseas. They talk about smoking their ops and killing the Jake and then bragging about it on the song. That culture has spread so deep to no matter where you go, 2/3 of our people, there's a Jake like this, or there's a Jake that think like this, or there's some street beef. And it's going to take the Lord ending it, man. You know, you see something like this, the shit piss you off because it's like we already in captivity. And then you have Jake that's preying on each other, man. Niggas is dedicated to killing each other. All right, let's go here. This is Isaiah chapter 1. And I'm going to jump down to verse 23. Thy princes are rebellious. And you know what? Let's start up. I'll start at 21. It says, how was the faithful city becoming harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. And that's what these young Jakes are, no matter what their reasoning behind it is. Scriptures tell us not to avenge ourselves. But they go tit for tat, body for body, keeping score, keeping count. And the only way it's going to get canceled out is the Lord's going to send the nigga they trying to pretend to be, which is Esau. They're going to send this nigga, man. The Lord going to send him. And he not going to be merciful to 2/3 of our people, man. He's not going to have no compassion when he come through them hoods. Just like Jake ain't have no compassion when they sliding and trying to catch a Jake coming out their house, trying to get the ups on the Jake, sleeping under a nigga porch trying to kill him, bragging about it, talking about how, look, when his son get older, I'm going to kill his son. What the Lord going to send the nigga y'all trying to pretend to be like? He going to send him. And he going to send him full throttle. All right, let's go here. This is Romans chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there's no power but of Yahweh Bashim Shai. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. The scriptures talk about agreeing with your adversary quickly, because Esau has been set up by the Lord to chastise and oppress Jake. And this is our correction. And in the midst of Jake's correction, these niggas done turned to murderers. Trying to pretend like imitating Esau. All right, so guess what? Let's go to verse 4. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. Yo, what the Lord's gonna send through the hood to end this beef? Them niggas ain't scared of shots. Esau don't care about you shooting at him. He know the difference between a hiss and a crack. That don't startle him. You ain't gonna be able to hide under his porch. He gonna be under yours. And these Edomites, even these regular Edomites, they got tactical gear. They got Kevlar. They got 10 millimeters, 50 cals. Talking about the regular Edomites, not even the government, because that's a whole nother section. And the Lord is going to send them niggas, man. And good riddance. Because you look at these Jakes, as destroyed as they are, it's hard to feel bad for them because, again, the mercy of the Lord is out here through the truth, and they refuse. They refuse the Lord's hand, so the Lord's going to have to send a violent man for them. They pretending to be like him in the hood every day. Why not get the real one? So the Lord's going to send the real one, the one Jake trying to be like, pretending to be like. Because everything Jake do in the hood, Esau do around a globe. He do around the country. So the Lord is going to send the one that they pretending to be like to sweep these streets. And that's the only way this beef going to end. This is why the Lord say he going to sake the day short. If not, there will be no flesh left to save. Between 2/3 and Esau, it ain't going to be nothing left here, man. And you see these niggas, how they brag about it. Like it's some honorable thing that y'all out there going tit for tat. Man, the Lord going to do something to Jake, man. The Lord going to do something to Jake. I'm going to finish this up. This is Romans 13:4. For he is a minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is a minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. So all these Jakes that's riding around with these ARPs and they, sliding on each other and bragging about on social media and killing somebody and talking shit about it on a record. And the Lord going to send John Wick and he going to sweep them streets, man. The Lord's going to send these plagues and it's going to sweep these streets. That's how the beef going to end. It ain't going to end by giving jobs to Jake. It ain't going to end with some Minister Farrakhan coming through the hood. It ain't going to end with brothers preaching to him. It ain't going to end with our apostles preaching to him. It's going to end violently for Jake. Because they heard the word and they pull the shoulder. This is vile, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, man. As if the Lord ain't did enough to us to correct us. Jake just go further in the wickedness, man. And you think about it, that generation right there is having children. They raising gremlins that look and think just like them. This is Zechariah chapter 7 and verse 11. I'll start at, It says, I'll read this in the NLT. It says, your ancestors refused to listen to this message. They stubbornly turned away and put their fingers in their ears to keep from hearing. They made their hearts as hard as stone so they could not hear the instructions or the messages that the Lord of heaven's armies had sent them by his spirit through the earlier prophets. That is why the Lord of heaven's armies was so angry with them. And this is why the Lord going to turn up on Jake. The Lord going to turn up on Jake, man. That's the only way it's going to end. You just listen to these Jakes. They friends done died. They family members done died. And when you listen to the clip that I showed you, they have no intention of stopping this shit, man. No intention. No intention of calling the truce and saying, look, has enough people died? So the Lord gonna send John Wick through that bitch. Excuse my French. Since Jake they love violence, the Lord gonna give them the one. And it's the only way at this point. You come into this truth and you have such a compassion and love for your people that you hope that they get it, but then you soon realize they don't want to get it, man. They don't want to be corrected. They done turn into a bunch of chocolate Edomites, man. So guess what? The Lord gonna send a nigga they pretending to be like. This is Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 14. It says, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. And they're going to plead, they're going to ask God, they're going to pray. When the Lord starts sending Esau and starts sending these plagues, they're going to pray and the Lord ain't going to hear none of it. Because in their peace and their security and their comfort, this is what they was doing. This is what they was on. Man, Lord willing soon, man. And for all these Jakes that want to stay here, this is the end result. It only gets worse. These niggas that don't want the Lord to come back, it only get worse. Because these niggas ain't gonna stop, man. They have no intention of stopping this shit. Man, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuwakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwat who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.